Million audio is always got some perfect.
I mean, Tripp, you always sound beautiful in my ears. So.
What's that?
I said you always sound great in my ears.
That's right.
So. But it's a 2-0 Jefferson lead over Washington before we left off. And the big hit in the game was Surf Garrett, the 2-run home run on Saturday. And now we're picking up where we left off here, Tripp, as they did not get through the 5 innings. If it would have went 5 complete, the game would be over. Jefferson would win the section, but instead Washington still has a shot here. We got 3 innings of baseball to be played, and I talked about this on the show. You know, things completely resetting could really throw things off for both teams. It could be a positive for Washington and a negative for Jefferson, or it could just be a negative for Washington and a positive for Jefferson. You don't really know because you had to make pitching changes. You know, it's a new day, new weather, different things that you're dealing with that can completely change the game.
Yeah, it certainly could. I mean, when you got the lead and a little bit of momentum, it felt like Jefferson had that, Saturday before the rain delay came. But it did allow Jefferson to, go to their, probably their ace or their one with Riley Morgan. And then because Rutherford stayed, under 75, he can come back tomorrow. So they could literally throw Rutherford their one and then have their 1-2 come back. So they're kind of in the way Martinsburg did with, was able to do with Boobers. Throw him and then won the first game and the third game. So that's kind of how they are here with Riley Morgan. So I don't think it hurt Jefferson in that sense. They can throw Morgan today and then come right back with Rutherford tomorrow, who was throwing a no-hitter. Up to this point, I think a couple of base on balls from keeping him from a perfect game, maybe an error, but he was throwing a no-hitter, so certainly you had to be comfortable if something were to happen, and Rutherford weren't able to, hold this 2-run lead. Morgan wouldn't be able to hold this 2-run lead as he's on first right now, and the pickoff attempt there. He singled at the top of this inning off of then Schillenberg, who was on the mound, so bringing Surf Garrett to the mound with a chance to replicate what he did on Saturday. Knocked the scoreboard lights out.
Yeah, the crazy thing is Jefferson only had 3 hits, but they did have 2 runs. And as we said, Washington so far without a hit. So a lot of throwovers here to begin things between Jefferson and Washington.
Jackson Earl was out on Saturday with a sore back, so we don't know if he's 100%. He wasn't even playing. So it's like Schillenberg, Trace Huff, Sin Dupree, and Connor Smith around the infield.
First pitch here, swing and a miss by Surf Garrett.
Jackson Earl pitching, and battery mate is Poltar, Michael Poltar. Go to the game stream. They're showing as DeLauder, McCarthy, and Jamison Earl around the outfield.
Next pitch misses outside for another ball.
So Riley Morgan hasn't, I guess, been named the pitcher, or they just don't want a courtesy run for him.
Could be, yeah. 1-1 count here. I mean, Morgan's got good speed over there at first, so maybe Jefferson sees that as more of an advantage than having him fresh in the dugout, as Guerra will lift this ball out toward center field. McCarthy makes the play on the run for the out. And there's one down here in the 5th inning. So Guerra is retired for the first time today, as he was 2 for 2 with the home run and the single.
Number 11, Alex
now we'll bring Alex Danner to the plate, who reached on error his last time up and flew out to the catcher the first time.
Jackson Earl did a good job there with Gary. He curveball away. They kept everything away and down, everything away and down. He ended up reaching there basically hitting Jackson Earl's pitch. When he hit the home run, he got a ball up in the zone where he could just mash it. It just was a mistake pitch that he was laid out there for him to, and he took advantage of it. When pitcher made a mistake, he made him pay.
Pitch here to Danner, hit hard on the ground towards second. Dupree will flip over to second and get the double. Oh, Danner beat it out by about a half step. It looked like he was going to be out from our angle, but we have a tough angle here down the first base line to exactly tell, as we are behind the plate on the right side, and I got kind of a pole in my way, so I'm not exactly sure, but I thought maybe they had got him by a half step. Either way, a good turn from Washington, but for Jefferson, they live for another out on the fielder's choice.
Matthew Heidel over there at first base, as we have our technical repairman on site, technician Tanner Everton. Watch it. Just almost got hit by a foul ball there. Tanner Everton used a bunch of very good small tools to fix our little
it's a power
transformer
cord
there, power cord.
But fortunately, we already kind of moved on from that equipment and moved to an alternative option. But we definitely appreciate that, and hopefully, hey, that will work at least until we get a new one. So
we not only do we have the same lineup set up and all of that, we still also have the same umpires. Keith Allison was replaced on this particular night, but C.L. Baker back behind the plate. Alderman at second, Matt Heidel at third, and still can't tell. I'm not familiar with the guy on third.
Throw down to first on a stolen base attempt from Danner. Looked like they had gotten the tag initially, but Danner slides in safely underneath. So Jefferson has a runner in scoring position here, and a 2-0 lead here in the fifth inning.
Looked like Potar definitely got the throw there in time, and he caught him stealing, but looked like maybe Sven was a little bit slower getting the glove down. Maybe, I'm not sure. From our 200 or whatever, 150 feet away, looked like he might have been out, but you have Alderman out there, umpire, right on top of it, and he said no, he was safe. He got in there.
0-2 count here on Sager, and pitch misses inside for a ball.
Sager's freshman, one of three in this lineup, and a sophomore. The sophomore standing out on second base with the fielder's choice, and stolen base is Alex Danner.
Next pitch, breaking ball, called strike 3 to get Sager. So despite some close calls in the field, Washington doesn't allow Jefferson to take advantage, and we will head to the bottom of the fifth. Our score is still 2-0 Cougars. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
I'm J.B. McCuskey, candidate for Attorney General. I've been a Mountaineer my whole life, and we know Mountaineers are always free. But that freedom is under attack. Woke activists want to defund our police, strip away our rights, and destroy our way of life. As West Virginia's Attorney General, I won't let that happen. I'll back the blue, defend the Second Amendment, and protect our right to frack, mine, farm, and timber. I'm J.B. McCuskey. As Attorney General, I'll fight for West Virginia. I'll hold politicians accountable, end federal overreach, and crush the woke mob. I'm J.B. McCuskey. Woke activists mistreat and look down on us, but as your Attorney General, I'll fight for West Virginia values and keep the Mountain State free.
Paid for by J.B. McCuskey for West Virginia Attorney General, P.O. Box 11359, Charleston, West Virginia 25361.
We welcome you back here to Washington High School. 2-0 Jefferson in this possible sectional championship game. If Jefferson gets the win, they are the Section 2 champs. If Washington were to come back and win here in the bottom of the fifth, the Patriots will force another game between the two teams, which I believe will be played tomorrow, if I'm correct, and they'll play that for the championship. And if that's the case, we'll be back here tomorrow. If not, we'll have softball for you. So our bottom of the fifth is brought to you by the Wagner Law Firm, West Virginia's premier DUI defense attorney. Visit WestVirginiaDUIlawyers.com. Trip, we're going to see Riley Morgan out there on the mound here today to try to close things out for Jefferson. It's a role, it kind of reminds you of some of their other pitchers from the past that's been arguably the best pitcher on the team. He can come in, he can start a game for you, or you can use him in this kind of long relief to close out a lead for you as well. And they probably wouldn't have taken Rutherford out on Saturday with the no-hitter that he was throwing, but, obviously the change in the game and to go to Morgan, who's arguably, your best pitcher, it's not definitely a bad situation to be in if you're Jefferson.
Yeah, and, Morgan coming off an 8-3 win, beating Washington in that first game of the section, which gave Washington their only loss. Morgan went 6 innings, give up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, struck out 8, and only walking 2. So, he's been through this lineup here, and that was on Wednesday. So because of his pitch count, 104, 4 days rest, here he is today. And I already told you that Rutherford could go tomorrow because he was only at 60, I believe. I think he had to go over 75 to not be eligible tomorrow, but he's eligible tomorrow. So they could go. Morgan And if something were to Washington were to come back here, go Rutherford tomorrow.
Not a bad situation to be in, but here Morgan finds himself behind 3 balls and a strike to McCarthy. 7-8-9 due up here from Washington. The 3-1 pitch from Riley Morgan is a called strike 2. McCarthy thought he had ball 4, but that one called a strike, so it makes it a full count now on Josh McCarthy.
Yeah, McCarthy, he was going down the line. Didn't look like a bad pitch to me, from here.
Yeah, the 3-2 this time, though, does miss for ball 4. So McCarthy will reach base safely on the walk after originally thinking he had a walk and then taking the pitch, and then ended up taking that 6th pitch of the at-bat for ball 4. And that will bring Michael Poltar to the plate. Poltar struck out in his lone at-bat against Cohen Rutherford. He lays down a bunt attempt here, but doesn't get the bunt down as it's a strike. They find Poltar down 0-1.
Yeah, looks like Washington's going to try to play for a run, here. And in the bottom of the 5th, they got, 3 innings to get it done.
That one's popped up to Morgan, the pitcher. Not what you want on the bunt attempt there from Poltar. As it's a pop out to the pitcher, and that will be 1 down the inning and bring DeWater to the plate.
Yeah, good job by Morgan. You see the bunt there. You got a strike on him, throw it up, see what he does, and he went up with it. And when you get when they start the bat low and you throw the ball up, they bring the bat up. Trajectory takes the ball up. So great pitch selection there from Morgan. Get the ball up there in that situation.
Riley's next pitch here, a little bit high for ball 1 to DeWater here hitting in the 9 hole. He grounded out his first time up, and we're going to see Coach John Lowry come out and speak with Riley here as early in the relief appearance for Morgan. He's going to have a conversation with the head coach.
Yeah, not unlike him to go out, and when we can't really, we don't know. He's the one guy that goes out, at times unknown. You just don't know. But he generally, when you talk to these young men in the summer and different times, and you're like, hey, talking to the coaches, talking to the kids, it's generally just, talking about how to approach certain hitters and, missing spots, things like that. But now John Lowry's having a conversation with the second base umpire, and I'm not sure exactly what it's about, but it's definitely animated, But he's done away with that. He's going to talk to his pitcher.
Yeah, kind of interesting there. Don't really see that too often. Coach
Here comes the
Sarno came out.
Yeah, the Sarno. Now you're going to have C.L. Baker speak with Coach Lowry, and you're going to have Alderman speak with, I think it's really part of it is talking about getting their kids keeping their kids inside the dugout, like they were all starting to, fall out the edges of the dugout there. These sectional dugouts are extremely full. You bring players up from your JV squad that might be able to help you. So your roster grows, your dugout grows, and so Jefferson is being condensed into that in that spot over there.
Pitch here from Morgan, called strike. And Jefferson in particular just has a huge roster in general, varsity, JV, and I think they even still have that kind of JVB team sometimes as well.
Yeah, all the teams like to sneak out, you know what I mean? They don't want to stand behind each other, take a ball down there low. They kind of spread out and just continues to, the big pile starts to pancake down and they start to bleed out both ends. And I think that C.L. Baker was telling them everybody has to be in the dugout, or at least within the confines of the dugout.
Right.
There.
2-1 pitch is fouled straight back. Make it 2 strikes now on DeWater.
But I'm not sure exactly what the initial conversation was with Coach John Lowry Sr. and second base umpire, because they were, there was a lot of shoulder shrugging and hand shrugging there. And
usually I feel like it's about balks or something like that, but here's a swing and a miss for the strike. Throw down to second is over the head of Dominguez, but Vickers is there to back it up. Morgan gets the strikeout on DeWater, so 2 down here in the inning. And that'll bring Sven Dupree back to the plate.
Yeah, the ball sailed. Riley Morgan's not easy to run on. He picked a pretty good pitch there, but as soon as it left Cole Smith's hand, you could see it was going to sail. And so Dominguez made a little fake grab there, but kept McCarthy at second. Was the backup.
Dupree slaps it foul down the left field line.
Sven Dupree, we talked about, looked like Cam Moore a little bit at leadoff spot, and Cam Moore's here, so he's back home from college.
Next pitch from Morgan, fouled away again, so no 2 count. Dupree so far a strikeout and a ground out in the contest. Bottom of the 5th inning, it's 2-0 Jefferson. Here at Washington High School with a runner on second, and McCarthy takes his lead. Morgan checks and delivers the pitch, and it's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Riley Morgan in relief. We head to the 6th with Jefferson still holding on to that 2-0 lead. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
West Virginians need strong conservative leaders we can count on to stand up and fight for our core values and protect our freedom. And Senate President Craig Blair is that conservative fighter. As Senate President, Craig Blair passed the largest tax cut in West Virginia history, putting more money back into the pockets of hardworking West Virginia families. And because of Craig Blair's leadership, West Virginia is one of the most pro-life states in the country. Senator Blair also protected our right to bear arms. That's why he was endorsed by West Virginians for life in the NRA. As the opioid crisis continues across our country, Craig Blair is fighting for stronger penalties against fentanyl distributors and drug dealers, and better access to addiction treatment for West Virginians. Let's keep Craig Blair fighting for our values and pushing West Virginia forward. Vote to re-elect Senate President Craig Blair on May 14th. Our pro-life, pro-gun, and pro-freedom voice in Charleston. Paid for by Republican State Leadership Committee. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
We welcome you back here to Washington High School as we head to the top of the 6th, brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Jefferson Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. As we head to the top of the 6th, Jefferson looking to add some runs to this one. They do hold the 2-0 lead, have a few more opportunities to add to that lead.
Yeah, we've seen leads evaporate in just about every game we've done, except for, of course, Musselman made a run there at Hedgesville there at the end after they got to the 4-0 lead. But, Hedgesville's lead evaporated there, 2-0 lead in the Blues and late in the game in extras. Hedgesville got up on Musselman pretty early, but Musselman clawed back, and so these leads are not safe, and things get tight late in the game. Sectional titles on the lines, kids do some crazy things, and all it takes is a couple of miscues, and you got the winning and tying run on base.
First pitch, a called strike here. As Jefferson facing Earl on the mound. Next pitch from Earl, misses outside for a ball.
Earl, not a big, tall guy, but he's lanky and he's going to certainly project to be a taller, lankier right-hander.
Next pitch, a called strike here on Roberts.
But he does have a nice little whip, good velo, change of speed. Only a sophomore out here, fighting one of the better teams in the state.
Next pitch is outside again for a ball. Roberts has had a tough game so far, 2 strikeouts for him on Saturday as we pick things up on this Monday. And the next pitch from Earl on a 2-2 is outside for ball 3.
He wanted it. If he could have made it, if Earl could have made it a little bit more competitive, it was just too far out. And but if he could have got it in a couple of inches there, he had him leaning. Good take. Cole Smith on deck.
And the full count pitch. Inside for ball 4, so Roberts draws a leadoff walk. And Jefferson has a chance to rally. Smith will come to the plate. He is 0 for 1 with a fly out and a walk so far.
Now batting, number 3.
Schillenberg's going to come up and an obvious bunt situation by all means, but could be hit and run as well as you have first baseman holding. He runs, the second baseman vacates. If Cole Smith is a guy who can handle the bat pretty well, and Coach Lowry has faith in that, he could maybe slap something to the right side, but
takes that one for a called strike on a pitch in the lower inside corner. Yeah, it's a tough spot in the lineup to necessarily lay down the sack bunt here.
Maybe. Plus, you got to, after a walk, maybe see if you throw a strike, maybe give you a base. Jefferson, their approach at the plate is, a lot of times let the other team fail, and then when you get in the hitter's counter, then you attack.
Got one count here. Next one a little bit high for ball. One ball, one strike. Jefferson dugout definitely
want to hit the baseball, but 100% of the time when you walk, you're safe at first. Not always happens when you hit the ball, so.
That's true, yeah.
If you can draw that walk and force Earl to throw pitches. But Coach John Lowry Sr. calls timeout, talks to Cole Smith with what's the 2-1 count?
1-1 count.
1-1 count. I still have Schillenberg up. Poltar went out to talk to his defense. So maybe Roberts is going here. Maybe they got something on.
Yeah, we'll see. See if Washington takes advantage. Well, Smith will foul it away down the right field line, and making the play out there in right field was Connor Smith on a nice run.
With Ty, so you got the one out with Ty Vickers coming up, and then Hefner, who's been pitch hit for by Healy already. Maybe Coach Lowry was thinking, we'll take my chances here, trying him slap something to the right side, not give up the out, and without the right personnel, maybe coming up like you said, in that part of the lineup, as these guys would. Looks like Hefner is certainly going to hit for himself this time. And Vickers is definitely going to hit. He's up here.
Vickers will show bunt, then pull it back. Yeah, the other thing, I feel like your catcher probably isn't going to bunt for a hit at all, so the threat of that isn't necessarily there. Vickers and Hefner, if they were up, maybe you lay down a bunt with them because of their speed. But
you never seen Major League? He bunted for a hit.
It's true. It's true. It's not impossible, but usually your catcher's not a fast guy.
I think we're seeing a little fake bunt right here just to get Jackson Earl to give some free bases maybe. See if he will.
2-0 count here on Vickers. Next pitch from Earl. A little bit high for ball 3.
He's asking where it's at, shrugging his shoulders, showing himself a little bit there on the mound, a little disappointment. Ball, C.L. Baker says that's the third pitch that you've thrown up and out of the zone.
The 3-0. Called strike 1 there from Earl to Vickers. Now Vickers finds himself in a 3-1 count. He did draw a walk earlier in the second inning and had a sack bunt as well. Next pitch, Vickers slaps it towards second. Could be a tough play. Dupree comes up and throws the first in time for the out. Runner Roberts advances to second. And there's 2 down here in the inning on the ground out.
Yeah, you can tell Jefferson's, Cole Smith and Vickers both trying to push the ball that way through that big hole as opposed to just, bunting. And what happens, if that happens, is you're going to see Jefferson, if that were to happen, you're going to see Roberts go all the way to third. So they were looking for more of a setup of first and third without giving up the out as opposed to just, giving up the out and having 2 outs with a man on second. And, with that hole over there.
Does advance the runner here as that one off the glove of Schillenberg down there at third, who's got the man caught in a rundown with Roberts. Roberts trying to get to third, but he's going to be tagged out by McCarthy for Dupree for the final out. There is good rundown defense from from Washington, getting the runner there in Roberts for the final out of the inning.
Ground ball to third, got to get through. It just was a short hop, doing a good job by Schillenberg to keep it in front. No play at first, looks up, and there Brady Roberts giving him an opportunity for an out. He threw down, got him in a little bit of a jam there, what we call a pickle, and eventually got run down by Dupree, and Jefferson run themselves out of the inning. Could have had men on first and second with a leadoff man up, no 2 outs, but instead, base running mistake, and we're going to move on to the bottom of the 6th with a 2-run lead.
Now at the bottom of 6, 2-0 Jefferson. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10. We're back in 60.
I am Dr. Joseph DeSoto, a lifetime religious conservative, physician, and veteran running for the 91st Delegate District. I am pro-life, anti-woke, pro-gun, and anti-tax. For the past 30 years, I have written in this community over 200 conservative articles standing up against the woke agenda and for our values, and have not taken a penny from special interests. I will continue to fight for you and follow the teachings of the Bible, paid for by Conservatives for a Better America.
More Capito has a clear immigration plan.
Law enforcement will deport illegals, and fentanyl dealers will face life in prison.
A clear plan on taxes.
As governor, I'll cut the state income tax completely, and it will attract more companies and more jobs to West Virginia.
And More Capito wrote the bill banning puberty blockers for children, while Morrissey got rich lobbying for the puberty blocker companies. More Capito has a few words for Morrissey.
California's that way.
We welcome you back here to Washington High School. It's 2-0 Jefferson as we enter the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th between these two teams. Brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. As Tripp Washington down to its final 6 outs already as we just kind of restarted. It feels a little weird to say that, but Morgan pitch is fouled away by...
Yep. Jackson Earl's trying to get on base here. I mean, if he can get on base behind him is Connor Smith. Connor Smith did hit the home run off of Riley Morgan in that first game in the first inning. So, that would be an opportunity for Connor to get a RBI there. But instead, he goes down on strikes. Jackson Earl was put in Robbie Lopez's spot when he came in as the pitcher. Schillenberg went to third, and that pushed Robbie Lopez to the bench, was the reason why Earl was in that spot.
There's a swing and a miss from Smith for strike 1. So Connor finds himself behind here, 0-1. He has walked and struck out so far. The next pitch is low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Smith.
Riley Morgan works quick. He stays up on that mound.
Next pitch hits Smith in the helmet, and he will reach first safely.
He's going to need to take his helmet with him.
Well, he didn't want to, I guess.
Someone needs to run it down to him. I don't think he knows he misses. Maybe you get hit in the head like that, you get a little wound up, scared, and sure there was absolutely zero intent there. 2-0 ball game in sectional, right. With a strike on him. Just got away from him, knocked his helmet off, and he just took off for first and left the helmet lay there.
Schillenberg will come to the plate, who's flown out and ground out so far. But gets a runner on, which is what Washington needs, and that one runs in and hits Schillenberg. So now back-to-back batters hit. And
I'm not sure at this point that you don't go ahead and run for Connor, just enter someone to run and just re-enter. I mean, we're in the 6th inning. You're down 2-0. I would think that you would maybe run for both these guys. They can re-enter at least once. Neither one's been taken out, right, as far as the book goes. So, you got a full dugout in there maybe. The problem, if you do that, whoever you run, they can't play the rest of the game. But, I mean, it might not be no game if these guys don't get in.
Yeah. Here's the pitch from Riley Morgan, called strike 1. I guess the only other concern would be maybe you just feel like you trust these guys a little bit more on the base pass than some of the guys with a little bit more speed. But you do have 2 on and just 1 out here in the inning. So chance to rally here if you're Washington with Brady at the plate. And Landon Brady will foul it away.
Sitting here having a chat with Colin Reed and Cam Moore in the house. Two of the best hitters to come through this program, and in another summer program we know about that I've seen in a while. I'm here to cheer on their former teammates.
Brady will send this one foul down the right field line. And not just from this program, too, the best players we've seen in this area.
Oh, yeah. They showed a lot of people around the state what they could do as well in the tri-state. You know, I'm not sure if I've ever seen someone hit the ball like Colin Reed.
Next pitch. Misses inside for a ball.
Landon Brady, uncharacteristically, 2 hit by pitches by Morgan. You don't see that very often. Generally, he pounds the strike zone.
Well, he gets the strike there for the strikeout looking as Morgan responds. And that's another strikeout for him, his 4th since entering the game. That will bring Jamison Earl to the plate.
Jamison Earl to the plate and going down and have a little chat with his dad, Jay Earl, on third, who's the assistant coach for Patriots, of course. Jamison and Jackson, sophomore, senior. Sophomore on the mound, senior at the plate right now, needing a 2-out hit. We are going to get a runner, looks like, for number 12 is going to come in for Schillenberg. Smith's going to remain on the bases. You know, he does have, we talk about speed and all that, but it comes down to instincts, too, as well. I mean, so, but you don't need a tremendous amount of instincts on a base hit to the outfield if you're trying to score from second. You just go hard. But, good instincts on, dirt balls, things like that, or something that, that instincts are certainly better than speed at times. But there's a lot to be said for speed on the base. The speed kills. Athletes at the high school level can create chaos on the base pass.
Here's the pitch from Riley Morgan to Jamison Earl. It's a foul tip for strike 1. We used to talk about that with Colin Reed a lot. Not a guy with a ton of speed, but always knows what to do in certain situations, and maybe you just rather have that in some situations. And here's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
Yeah, you see Riley Morgan there after 2 hit by pitches. He's a pitch away from getting out of his own jam that he created.
Nice pitch low and inside for a ball.
Like maybe a little bit of slider there. I couldn't tell if it was down low. Like it just had a little late break to it.
So the 1-2 from Morgan, the lefty, is popped up. Left field. Heading over for is Roberts, and he'll make the catch for the final out of the inning. So we will head to the 7th. Still 2-0 Jefferson. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio Cole Lewis now out there in left field. But here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10, and Lewis makes the play for the final out of the inning. It's West Virginia High School Baseball.
Alex Mooney is from Maryland, and he votes like it. In Congress, Maryland Mooney voted against giving our troops a pay raise, and he opposed providing wounded veterans with better health care. It gets worse. Maryland Mooney wanted to give illegal immigrants driver's licenses and taxpayer-funded college tuition discounts. And he voted against Trump's wall, stiffing veterans to give taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. Maryland Mooney doesn't share our West Virginia values. Big Jim Justice is the best governor West Virginia's ever had. Big Jim is a strong conservative on protecting life and defending our Second Amendment. And he delivered the biggest tax cuts in West Virginia history. Endorsed by President Trump, Jim Justice will fight to finish the wall and secure our border. Big Jim is one of us, and he fights for us.
I'm Jim Justice, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Jim Justice for U.S. Senate.
Here to Washington High School. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Trip Tobin. Trip, they're playing your band.
Playing my era, yeah. I feel like I need to go skating. Skateland. Skate a little backwards.
Well, this is what you told us that you listened to on Friday.
That's it.
Or Saturday, but.
Sugar Hill, they heard me, didn't they?
Yeah. But we head to the 7th. Jefferson looking to add on to its lead, top of the 7th inning. Brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to fordofhagerstown.com. And it's the top of the order for Jefferson as well, so a good place to be. Dominguez, Morgan, Guerra due up, chance to rally for the Cougars, add on to this lead, and with Riley Morgan pitching and the way he has been pitching, you certainly like Jefferson's chances, especially if they're able to add on to this lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting in a good spot. You know, Morgan had those two hit batters, and then he just, bailed himself right out of it. But right now they're top of the order, and then they have an opportunity to add on to that lead. If they could get another run or two, I think they're going to be gold.
Washington came into the sectional tournament as it's a 1-1 count here at Dominguez. Pretty cold, not playing their best baseball in terms of wins and losses are concerned. They did get a 2-0 win here in the tournament as Dominguez sends this one up the middle, off the glove of the pitcher Earl. Second baseman Dupree charges in from deep second base and can't make a play, so Dominguez is on.
Nothing Earl can do about that. Ball's hit right back on the glove side, threw the glove out, and he caught a bit enough of it to slow it down, and too slow for Dupree to get after it. So
now batting,
Dominguez is on.
So Washington received the 1 seed here in Section 2. Jefferson beat them 8-3 in their first game. They did beat Hampshire 2-0, but it's been a struggle to score runs for this Washington team recently, and they've been no hits so far today.
Yeah, I mean, coming in on a 4-game skid, and right now they've lost 5 of their last 6. So they need to get something turned around here quick.
Morgan tries to lay down a bunt, and it goes foul.
Oh, deja vu as it got from Jeff King the other night. As that foul ball, you get when they square around the bunt and they make contact with it, so the catcher will start to move, and he comes up. But he come up, the ball got under and come up and got C.L. Baker, but not in a area that's going to delay the game. But Potar go out and talk to Jackson Earl. Let C.L. Baker rub it off and go from there.
Get reset here. Riley Morgan, this is you see a guy like Morgan in the 2 spot. We talk about this from Martinsburg a lot, how anybody can and will bunt with these kind of teams.
I think they're going to bunt here.
It makes sense in this situation as that pitch misses low for a ball.
One thing about Jefferson, if you watch them and you see them and you just work with, you see some of those kids and you become your teammates in the summer. They do have back control. They do work on hitting behind runner, situational hitting. They're not a grip it and rip it group. I mean, they have a great approach to the plate. There's a huge hole over there, at between first and second right now. And we've seen the last inning how they tried to hit through that hole. We'll see what they're going to do here now.
Next pitch to Morgan, taken for a strike, so most likely won't bunt now with the 2 strikes on him.
And Schellenberg needs to move on back because he's going to stay up in the grass. I mean, right-handed hitter, can't get nothing down the line here. So
1-2, Morgan sends it on the ground towards short. Huff throws the second in time for the out and makes the play, but nothing on the double play as Morgan will reach on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, he hit it, but not real hard. Got it off the end of the bat, rolled it over. About a 6-hopper out there to the shortstop. Not a tremendous amount, enough speed on it to get anything. So we're going to see Jay Earl go out and talk to Jackson. Going to get a courtesy runner here for the pitcher. Also during this break, and it'll be, looks like Jet Gross. Jet was down there warming earlier after those 2 hit batters. So Coach Lowry's going to give Jet his. Is it Jet? Maybe not. No, it's number 35 on their team. So number 35's headed out.
Now entering the game is a courtesy runner, number 35, Andrew Rolfe.
Andrew.
So Wolf's going to come on and run.
Number 35 for the team. He's going to come on and run there. So he is still having a little Andrew Rolfe with an R.
Wow.
Rolfe.
Okay.
So anyway, we got that squared away. So reset here after the pitchers, after the visit from Coach Jay Earl out to see Jackson. And he's going to throw to Surf here. We're probably telling him how to stay away from that sweet spot of Surf's bat if possible.
Yeah, definitely want to stay away from that. He had kind of a single or an error earlier, but that 2-run home run that he had on Saturday was Just an absolute bomb, one of the harder hit home runs we've seen. And next pitch to the freshman, Guerra. Be interesting to see what he looks like in a few years.
Pitch was a 50-50 pitch there.
A little bit high according to the
A
umpire.
little high according to C.L. Baker. But again, not.
Next pitch, a big swing and a miss from Guerra.
You got Schellenberg up. Certainly, I don't think you're going to see. Well, he's 2 steps off the grass. I'm certainly not going to see Guerra hit here. So he probably would be better if he just backed up and guarded the line there and kept this run. Kept it to a single if possible. Kept it on the infield.
2 balls, 1 strike. Earl delivers the next pitch. Guerra puts it with good contact out there towards center, but McCarthy makes the play, and there's 2 down here in the inning.
Yeah, he got a good piece of it, just right at McCarthy, and took 2 or 3 steps back and to his left and makes the play. You got Jackson Earls 1 pitch away from holding Jefferson scoreless here through his 3 innings of work, giving his team an opportunity, but you haven't seen a tremendous amount of run production here out of Washington as of late, so they're going to have to make something change there in the bottom of the 7th if they're going to play tomorrow.
Alex Danner coming to the plate here with a runner on first. 2 down here in the inning. Washington running out of opportunities, but first they got to keep this lead to only 2, and then you got to go from there. But Danner, fielder's choice in the 5th inning. He'll pop this one up foul and out of play. Alex.
7, 8, and 9 coming up for Washington at the bottom, so they're going to have to get some work done. McCarthy, Poltar, DeLauder needs to figure out a way to get on base and get this deficit erased. Jefferson here going to fight with 2 outs. Going to be a tough last out.
Pitch from Earl is outside for a ball. Yeah, I mean, it is a experienced 7, 8, 9 there. A lot of guys that have played a lot of baseball for this team, but
at some point, Washington just has to get a hit. They don't have a hit in the game, So we're looking at a combined no-hitter here.
Next pitch. Danner sends it toward deep left center field. It is carrying and off the wall out there in left center, and Danner has the RBI double to score the run, and Jefferson extends its lead to 3-0. So now it gets that much more difficult trip.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge to add on runs, like I said, with 2 outs. Jefferson's not going to go away. They're going to be competitive, and now they feels like maybe Jefferson, or looks like Washington, looks like the sales, the wind's definitely out of their sail now, it feels like, as they're kind of walking around and not a lot of energy, so they need to pick that up. But Jefferson just does that to you. They just wear you out. They just long at bats, they run the bases. They don't give you a lot of easy outs. Uncharacteristic running mistake there earlier, but generally they don't give you many, any outs. So you have to earn them out there.
Sayer struck out his last time up. Opportunity to get an RBI here. Ball hit on the ground. Schellenberg cuts off his shortstop and throws the first in time for the out. So Huff lets him take it. It ends up working out for Washington. They get the final out of the inning. Into the bottom of the 7th, Jefferson adds a run. It's 3-0 Cougars. We'll come back with Washington trying to rally, or Jefferson will be your Section 2 champions. This is West Virginia High School Baseball Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
West Virginia, you have an opportunity to elect the most pro-gun governor in the nation. Patrick Morrisey is a tried and true proponent of our right to keep and bear arms. During his time as Attorney General, Patrick Morrisey has expanded concealed carry reciprocity agreements with other states. He also led a coalition of states in their lawsuit against the ATF's unconstitutional pistol brace rule. Patrick Morrisey even took the Obama administration to the Supreme Court over their attacks on gun owners and the Second Amendment. That's why Gun Owners of America is proud to endorse 2A defender Patrick Morrisey for West Virginia governor. Get out and vote to protect the 2A. Vote Patrick Morrisey for governor. Gun Owners of America paid for and is responsible for the contents of this message.
Bottom of the 7th inning, which is brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. Trip, as we head to the bottom of the 7th, Washington with its 7-8-9 due up. McCarthy, Poltar, and DeWater. McCarthy did get on base to lead things off with a walk in the 6th inning. In the 5th inning, but Washington couldn't do anything with that. So similar situation here. Riley Morgan has pitched very well in relief of Cohen Rutherford, and the two have combined for no hitter so far. And we'll see if they can finish it out here in the 7th. Pitch here from Morgan is high and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Washington still after 6 innings and about 72 hours, we're still no hits.
3-run deficit. Pitch from Morgan, swing and a miss. Strike 1, 1 ball, 1 strike here on McCarthy, the center fielder.
Pitch there's tough to hit when left-hander driving it down, drowning in on a righty.
The 1-1 from Morgan is fouled straight back.
Michael Poltar on deck. Ball boy at the moment. With the
And the 1-2 from Morgan high and outside for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here on McCarthy. Bottom of the 7th inning, a 3-0 Jefferson lead over Washington for the Section 2 championship if the Cougars get it done here today. And that one misses inside for a ball.
I think Jefferson went back to their same uniform. I think Washington changed, didn't they? Didn't they have the red, the white tanks?
Yeah, they had the
sleeveless
whites on. This one fouled away, so Jefferson had to work extra hard, clean the uniforms, or maybe just keep the same sweat on them,
I thought you had to just do everything exactly the same. Keep the same socks on and everything.
If you're winning.
Yep.
But if you're losing, you might as well change it up, I guess.
Change it up.
3-2. Called strike 3. McCarthy goes down looking.
Yeah, that was a strike. It looked like from here. He was caught the outside, snuck it in there, and a little bit of movement there, froze him. As he just thought that ball was going to stay on the outer half, and it moved in there. Michael Poltar coming up here, trying to break up this no-hitter and give his team a chance to get on base any way at all. Now you're down to just trying to, move the lineup. Just pass it along, pass the at-bat down.
Big swing and miss there from Poltar from Riley Morgan. Again, the lefty working to the right-hander.
You need to be patient here. Make Morgan get you out.
Next pitch from Riley. High and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Morgan already with 5 strikeouts.
Matching.
Not even 3 innings of relief.
He's a strikeout pitcher.
Next one is popped up over toward third base. Alex Danner looking up for it and makes the play. At the last second, had to adjust to make that out. And there's 2 down here in the 7th, and Jefferson is 1 out away from winning the Section 2 championship.
Rutherford went 4 innings on Saturday. No runs, no hits, no earned runs. Struck out 5, walked 2. Morgan has went 2 2/3, struck out 5. No hits, of course, no runs, no earned. And then, but he does have the 2 hit batters. So with that walk, so 3 free bases from Morgan, 2 free bases from Rutherford. And both have 5 strikeouts at the moment.
DeWater fouls off the first pitch he sees for strike 1. This umpire pausing things to make sure that the bullpen is able to chase down that ball that I guess got away from the bullpen catcher. But here we are, 0-1 count. Next pitch from Morgan outside for a ball.
Jefferson has 6 hits on 3 runs on 6 hits. They've committed 1 error. Washington, no runs, no hits, 2 errors.
1-1 from Morgan, high and inside for ball 2. So 2 balls and a strike here to DeWater, the number 9 hitter. As Washington trails at 3-0 here in the 7th.
Got to get a shout out to our biggest fan, Nevin Kilmer. I'm sure he's sitting and eating a sandwich somewhere listening to the game.
Nice pitch here from Riley Morgan is high for a ball. Nick Verzolini alongside with Trip Tobin. Colin McLaughlin on camera. Back in the studio, Dylan Bishop for this sectional championship game, possibly if Jefferson were to win it. And the next pitch from Riley Morgan is outside for ball 4. So DeLauder draws a walk here with 2 down. And Washington will send the top of the order and Dupree to the plate. So, Tripp, it's not over yet.
No, the last out's the hardest out to get. You know, I don't care who you are or how good you are or how much you're outnumbered or what have you. The last out is a tough one.
As the 4th walk between the two Jefferson pitchers, and apparently that one ran in and hit Dupree, so we got a hit by pitch here in the 7th as well, and that will bring Earl to the plate.
Yeah, barely got him. He definitely if it didn't get him, he sold it. So Dupree did a good job there of taking advantage of the pitch that came up and in. Not a whole lot of argument from Jefferson over whether or not they got hit or not. So certainly, man on first and second, 2 outs. First 2 outs came pretty easy. Now Morgan's got himself in a little bit of a jam, once again created by himself. But the last time this happened, he came through and got ahead of the batter. And what Washington wants to see is Connor Smith come to the plate. Connor Smith has had success against Riley Morgan. Like we said, he did hit a home run there in that first game in the first inning. As the disco comes back on. We don't own the rights to this music, but we dance to it.
Earl will come to the plate. Yeah, if
there's free DJ down here.
If you can get Smith to the plate, I mean, he gives you a chance to tie or take the lead with one swing of the bat. So Earl here will try to do his best to find a way on and extend this inning.
Looks like they went with Thompson. They went to a pinch hitter.
Okay. And it's a swing and miss for strike 1.
And to Thompson.
We did see
as a hitter.
Coach DeSarno go down. Looked like he said something to the home plate umpire, but I wasn't sure what it was about. I guess it was for the substitution.
Declan Thompson.
0-1. Popped up and foul.
Big spot for the young man.
Yeah.
He's been waiting for 3 days to get in this game, and here he is. He's patient.
Well, you haven't got much out of this 2 spot, a fly out and 2 strikeouts, so he's the 3rd guy to hit in this spot. And the next pitch from Riley Morgan is low and outside for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 down, 2 strikes.
Just you skipped away from Cole Smith there a little bit. That could have been, big trouble to take all the forces off, But right now, Morgan strike away.
Pitch from Riley on 1-2. Fouled away again, so good at bat here.
Yeah, Robbie Lopez is his spot here. There's been 3 different. Robbie Lopez started there. Jackson Earl took over there as the pitcher. Now Declan Thompson entering, at least momentarily, for Jackson Earl.
Morgan looks into his catcher, Smith. Checks the runners, delivers on the next pitch, and it's fouled away.
Tried to beat up that outside corner there. Fastball away. Declan stayed behind it. The longer this goes on, the better his chances are, but he's still way behind the count, 1-2. And he's got to watch just, swinging at anything. As
1-2 from Morgan here once again. It's fouled straight back. Thompson continues to foul him off and battle here against Riley Morgan. The senior left-hander, as we mentioned before, dealt with that elbow injury before the season. Comes back about mid-year and has been a huge lift to this Jefferson team that certainly needed not only his pitching but his bat in the lineup as well. The next pitch from Morgan here on 1-2 again, fouled away. Good at bat.
Yeah, just got that one. Got the Landon Brady on second. Not a tremendous amount of speed, I don't think, out there.
Should be McCarthy, I believe. I'm sorry.
Is it Brady? Who is it? It's number 20. Yeah, DeLauder. Sorry about that, right?
There we go. DeLauder on second and Dupree on first. This one's hit on the ground toward third. Danner throws to first. Guerra makes a long stretch and makes the play for the final out, and Jefferson is the Section 2 champions once again as they defeat Washington here 3-0 and a no-hitter between Riley Morgan and Cohen Rutherford. The Patriots season ends and the Cougars season will continue. They'll play in the regional championship game against Martinsburg next week. Tripp, your initial thoughts on this one and just Jefferson's performance throughout this tournament?
Well, Jefferson just come in dominant pitching performance to Washington. I think they got the higher seed than Jefferson, but I think Jefferson definitely peaked. A little later, and Washington fell off there a bit. Wasn't playing their best baseball. Come sectional time, I think that's why you see. I don't think there's a huge difference in. I don't think that Jefferson is 2-0. Game, 2 games better than Jefferson, as far as roster and talent and that. But I just think Jefferson is, they get better. They've like Coach John said, Lowry said the other day, we were trying to find our parts and how they work together, and they found that, it looks like, and they got three great starters in Jet Gross and Rutherford and Morgan, of course, so they can go in a 3-game set with Martinsburg, and they can match up with DeLauder and Buber and Martinsburg's third starter, as they haven't really had a 3-guy, but they've had a tremendous amount of guys that throw behind those guys, and they've got Alter, Oviedo, Rupenthal, they're stacked. Jameer Brown, they're stacked when it comes to pitching as well. So it's going to be fun to watch these guys. I don't think we're going to see real high-scoring games because I think the pitching is starting to really come around, and you've seen what Buber and DeLauder can do. Now we've seen what Rutherford and Morgan can do. So it's going to be fun to watch. Somebody's got to get some bats going here.
Yeah, should be a really good series between those two teams. Tripp, if you want to maybe make your way out toward the field, go grab Coach Lowry and whoever you decided is our player of the game. If you want to grab 2, you can as well. But we'll head into the post-game show here. We're not going to take a break. We're going to let you watch the celebration. But our post-game show is brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg. A full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. We'll most likely take a break here at some point, possibly. So just, stay tuned, I guess, for that. But we'll get into our game summary brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com as Jefferson picks up the win over Washington here today in the Section 2 championship, meaning that they are the Region 2 Section 2 champions and have punched their ticket to the Region 2 championship game against Martinsburg. It's a 3-0 no-hitter win for the Cougars. Take a look here at the final line. 6 hits for Jefferson, just 1 error. Washington, no runs on no hits. 2 errors. The combined no-hitter between Riley Morgan and Cohen Rutherford gets the win. Surf Garrett has the big 2-run home run. And all of that leads to the victory. Yeah. A lot of pictures. All right. Well, we'll take a little bit of a break then as Tripp reports back to me that's probably going to be a little bit. And then when we come back, we'll have our game stats and player of the game. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute break, Dylan, and then return with the game stats. This is West Virginia High School Baseball and Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
I served 40 years protecting America, and I deployed from the Middle East to Africa. I never thought I'd see our own homeland invaded. Joe Biden opened our borders to Mexican cartels, Chinese fentanyl, and illegals from all over. We're supposed to be a superpower, and we can't stop an invasion on our own soil? Send a war fighter to Congress. I'll stand with President Trump to finish this wall and take our country back. I'm Chris Walker, and I approve this message.
Pro-abortion Tammy Hess is a lifetime woke progressive Democrat running as a Republican. She is supported by Jefferson County white supremacists, Shepherdstown liberals, and she supports the chemical castration of children. She also supports higher county property taxes and a new Green Deal. Enough is enough. Vote for the only true religious conservative Republican candidate in this race, Dr. Joseph DeSoto, paid for by the Eastern Panhandle Republican Association.
Finally, West Virginia is moving in the right direction. As your West Virginia Senate President, Craig Blair has passed the most conservative legislative agenda in the nation. He has fought for our values like banning elective abortions, protecting our Second Amendment rights, and prevented boys from playing in girls' sports. Senator Craig Blair championed the largest tax cut in the history of our state. Craig Blair, a strong conservative leader. Promises made, promises kept. This election, vote for Republican Craig Blair for State Senate. Paid for by the Committee to Re-elect Craig Blair.
Hi, this is Roger Hanshaw, Speaker of the West Virginia House of Delegates, encouraging everyone in Berkeley County to vote for Pam Brush for House of Delegates. Pam is dedicated to improving Berkeley County and being a voice for West Virginia's Eastern Panhandle in our state legislature. In a time with tremendous opportunity like we have today, it's important that we send leaders like Pam Brush to the House of Delegates to be the right voice for Berkeley County. Remember to vote for Pam Brush to send a strong champion for Berkeley County and House District 97 to Charleston.
Paid for by Mountaineer Majority Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
We welcome you back here to Jefferson. Nick Verzolini, Colin McLaughlin, our cameraman, Trip Tobin will be joining us once again for the post-game player interviews here in a few moments. But we'll get into our game stats, which are brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. And we'll start with Jefferson as Cougars get the win here today, 3-0 over Washington to win the Section 2 championship, which means they will play Martinsburg for the regional title. Jefferson improves to 25-9 on the year. Washington ends at season 16-17, but it's a 4-3 win for the Cougars here today. I'm sorry, not a 4-3 win. Excuse me. Apologize for that. I was looking at the wrong box score there, but Jefferson gets the win. They're 25-11, 3-0 over Washington. And now we'll give you those game stats. Dominguez gets a hit. Riley Morgan gets a hit. Surf Garrett has the home run as well as 2 hits on the day, 2 RBIs. Alex Danner a hit and an RBI. Sager 1 hit. It combines for 6 for the Cougars. Cohen Rutherford goes 4 innings of no-hit baseball on Saturday, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and then Riley Morgan finishes up here today after the rain delay with 3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, so essentially 2 of the same stat lines between those two in their 7 combined innings of work for Washington. Again, they are no-hit. Schellenberg, though, went 4 innings on the mound, 4 hits, 1 earned, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and then Earl went 3 innings of 2-hit baseball with 1 strikeout. So, wait for Tripp to bring Coach Lowry around as well as our player, maybe players of the game, because like we said, Rutherford and Riley Morgan combined for the no-hitters, so definitely a good nominee there. You have Surf Guerra with the home run. Big at-bat there, so a lot of good stuff on the Jefferson side for Washington. It's a tough way to end their season. They picked up a win the other day against Hampshire, but other than that, it's been a lot of losses in a row for the Jefferson Cougars. And we are now joined here by, I believe, Cohen Rutherford, correct? Or
yeah, Cohen Rutherford.
How you doing, Cohen?
I'm doing good. How are you?
You gotta lower your mic here. Cohen, you're player of the game here today after your no-hitter that you actually threw on Saturday, but going through the rain and everything that you had to deal with in that game, what do you think really clicked for you to allow you to throw that no-hitter?
I just go out there. Coach Lowry tells me to throw strikes, so I just do what he tells me, do my job out there.
team's been playing pretty good baseball as of late. Good sectional, 2 wins. What does this mean for you and your team to win this sectional championship this year?
It's a big thing for us. We got the 2nd seed this year, and we didn't agree with it, but we came out there, played our baseball, and we're ready for regionals.
What do you think of Riley coming out there, picking up where you left off? Obviously, you would have loved to have pitched again, but due to rules, you can't do that. And Riley comes in and picks up where you left off. Just what does that say about your team this year and how you guys have really come together here in the last few weeks?
I was confident in Riley today. He came back from his arm injury. He threw really well, and today he came in. He struggled a little bit during strikes, but he dialed in and got the job done.
So Martinsburg will be your opponent in the regional. Obviously a great team. You guys, though, competed well with them last time around. And what do you think it's going to take to win the regional this year?
I think it's going to be relying on pitching and offense, honestly. First time we played them, we didn't pitch too well. They got a lot of hits on us, and we just didn't have our offense we had. I think our offense has improved a lot recently, so I think we'll have a way better game.
All right, Kevin, congratulations. And no-hitter, you were a big part of it, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tripp, you want to hop on? Join us for this one? So we're now joined by, I believe, Riley Morgan.
Yes, sir.
Riley, you throw the combined no-hitter. You pick up where Cohen left off. You have a good day at the plate as well. But what was really clicking for you out there on the mound, and just what does the sectional championship mean to you?
It means a lot, but nothing was really clicking today. I had to fight through it and make sure I was trying to get the ball over the plate at the end.
Throughout the season, you guys have been up and down, up and down. You seem to be playing your best baseball right now. What did it take to get to this point, to get to where you guys, you didn't have the number 1 seed. You come in as a 2 seed, of course, because of some early season, losses. But here you come in, you take 2 from a team that beat you. And what's changed over the year? Like, how have you guys progressed, and what do you think had to do with that?
I think everybody's bought in. We're starting to play as a team more now, so everybody understands their role, and they're all playing to that role. So it helps a lot.
So you got a base hit up there too. You scored a run. I think you scored a run on a free base earlier in the game too, right? So
yes, sir.
3, you get to come home on Guerra's home run that bounced off the. Take us through that, right? That emotion in the rain. I know it was a long time ago, but it was pretty emotional when it happened, and it busted up the no hitter on the other side as well, I believe. So that 2-run home run ends up being the game winning hit actually. So take us through that.
I was on first base, and as soon as he hit it, I knew it was over the left fielder's head, but as soon as it started to carry a little more, I saw it was gone, so I just started to take off.
All right. Well, Coach Johns, he's got a lot going on there. He's probably not going to say a whole lot, but what's he been saying as you guys move through and come into these sectionals and embrace the 2 seed and what's been the coaching, what's been the repetition there to keep you guys ready to win a sectional?
We just take it 2 games at a time, because sectionals you got to win 2 games, regionals got to win 2 games, and to win the state championship got to win 2 games. So that's what he preaches.
So what do you think against Martinsburg up there? They're going to be a tough team to go in there. You got to go in there maybe 2 times, at least once, and then back down here maybe again, if you guys are going to win it. So you got to go in there. You've seen what you've been able to probably watch a lot of their games, go back and see a lot of footage. What do you think about them?
They're a good team. We're going to have to pitch really well and hit the ball, and we're going to have to make plays in the field, that's for sure.
All right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll see you Monday the 20th.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Congrats to Riley Morgan, Cohen Rutherford, and the Jefferson Cougars, our players of the game, which are brought to you by WV Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. Did you confirm that Coach Lowry will make his way over when he has time, or I'm not really sure about that?
Yeah, he's with WEP. He's with Mountains. Excuse me, who's he with? I think he's with Metro News now, so maybe he'll come back. I guess I can go down and ask.
Yeah, if you want to go ask him, that'd be great, or maybe we'll just get him on the show tomorrow. I'm not sure, but we'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break. We got political ads to play anyway, so we'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll come back with more, hopefully with Coach Lowry. If not, we'll get him on the show tomorrow. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
I'm Chris Warner, the proven conservative candidate for Secretary of State. I led the Republican Party in West Virginia as we began our march to a supermajority, and I was appointed by President Trump to lead rural development in West Virginia. I'm a proud father of 5 children who proudly served in uniform, and I will continue my service as Secretary of State as I stand with President Trump to protect elections, cut the red tape for business owners, and fight federal overreach. I'm Chris Warner, and I'd appreciate your vote for Secretary of State.
Paid for by Chris Warner for West Virginia.
My name is Chris Glover, and I am running for family court judge. If being a successful family court judge means continuing the antagonistic, combative, contested, traditional litigation that we see today in family court, then I hope to be a complete failure, because I want a family court that's child-centered, that's future-focused, and that brings families together in reconciliation. And reconciliation could be reunification of the family and or healthy co-parenting. I often have couples that will reconcile and completely dismiss their cases because, we've provided them with wraparound services to help them. I am self-funded because my faith teaches me the judicial attributes of independence, impartiality, integrity. When I preserve a family and I make a lot less money as a lawyer, that makes me happy. That's a success for me.
Paid for by Chris Glover for family court judge.
We don't have the biggest cities, the tallest skyscrapers, or the best boarding schools. We've got the best people and a way of life that's almost heaven. Faith in God, respect for the sanctity of life, pride in America. We're not a racist country. We're the greatest country. In big cities full of snobs who mock West Virginia, those values are almost extinct. But this is almost heaven. I'm Chris Miller, and I'll keep it that way as governor.
We welcome you back here to Washington High School. Still waiting to see if Coach Lowry will join us here on the post-game show. But, again, Jefferson gets the win. Sorry about that extra audio that just came through there for you. But Jefferson gets the win over Washington, 3-0. Combined no-hitter for the Jefferson Cougars over the Washington Patriots to help them get the win here today and advance to the regional championship. Nick Verzolini here on the post-game show. They'll play Martinsburg next week. Tomorrow we will have Washington softball as they take on Washington and Musselman in the softball regional championship. Of course, that could rain out, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll be back here in Charlestown, just a few yards away over at the softball diamond. And looking forward to that one as, again, those two teams, I believe, starting around 7 o'clock here tonight. But that is at Musselman. If it was at Washington, we would just walk on over. But, we'll see. But not sure here. Looks like Coach Lowry may be making his way over. Not 100% sure. Well, just got the update from Colin that Washington leads in softball over Musselman 1-0. So tomorrow could be a championship game if that score were to hold, or if Washington were to beat Musselman today, then that would be a championship game tomorrow. But give it here just a few more minutes. I'm not sure if he's going to make his way over or not, so I don't want to end the broadcast and then have him come over here and be like, what the heck? But let's just go ahead and wrap it up, I suppose. We'll get him on the show tomorrow on the Sports Mix at noon. And this is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR. Once again, your final score here. Jefferson wins it 3-0 over Washington to win the sectional championship. This is West Virginia High School Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Have a good night, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Baseball. Today's game broadcast has been brought to you by
Parsons Ford, Rocks, the Heffley Motor Company, the Wagner Law Firm, Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, the Skinner Law Firm, the Browns Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, Orsini's, Carter Myers Automotive, Century 21 Modern Realty Results, the Palace Lounge, Cody's Auto Body, WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Smallwood and Small Insurance, Mother Shuckers, L.A. Roberts Jewelers, the Dutch Miller Auto Group, and the Mansion Freddie Law Firm.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball, keep it tuned to FM 106.5, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online talk radio WRNR.com. All rights reserved.